Hi, I'm Gohar Vardanyan, and this is the Strings by Male Repertoire series. In this video, I'll be reading through one of the pieces in this book by Philippe Loli called The Wind of Sabarmati. As you notice, this piece has quite an extensive section with tremolo in it, so I would recommend it for someone who already has some experience playing tremolo. I wouldn't really suggest using this piece to learn tremolo from scratch, mostly because the tremolo that appears here often it's on the second and third strings, which makes it difficult to learn on. It's always better to learn on the first string first before moving on to the middle strings. And also the tremolo section is marked più presto, which is quite fast, and if you're not already comfortable with the technique, you will have a difficult time catching up with the tempo. That said, if you already know how to play tremolo and you would like to learn this piece, you will notice that there is absolutely no fingerings in the music, which at first is quite scary, but ultimately it's a good thing because it allows you to pick your own fingering and not be tainted by what's already on the page. For the most part, the fingering is very straightforward. Really, there is only one logical solution for which finger you would use on each note. But there are a few suggestions I would like to make, and the first one is in measure 40. But first I'll have to give you some context, so I'll start at measure 38. So here, I'm using the second, third, and fourth fingers to hold down the notes. Sliding 4, and then keeping 2 where it is, and putting the third finger on F sharp and the fourth finger on D. This is measure 39. Now getting to measure 40, the first few notes, there is really only one option. You would use the fourth finger on G sharp, second finger on E, and the first finger on B. Now after this, my initial instinct was to keep the same chord shape and just move it 2 frets back and play the D on the fourth string with the second finger, and then the A on the second string with the first finger, and have the pinky play the F sharp. But I quickly realized that what comes next, which is this chord, would have been too difficult to get to at that tempo without having to practice more than I really need to if I change the fingerings. So I changed it to keeping the beginning of measure 40 the same. Instead of sliding this chord shape back, I'm going to use the first finger to play the D, and then the third finger to play the F sharp, and I'm going to put the second finger on the third string to play the A. This way, I already created the shape of the chord that comes next, and all I have to do to go to measure 41 is slide it 1 fret back in the same shape, and I have the next chord. So you have this requires significantly less amount of practice than the first option. So when you're thinking about fingerings, make sure that you don't always choose what's comfortable right at the moment, but also consider what's coming afterwards. So a lot of times you'll have to readjust to make sure that everything is smooth. Usually you want to pick the fingering that is easiest to do, because then you can really concentrate on the music rather than trying to get the notes first. My other fingering suggestion is in measure 60. So the way it's written, if you just read the notes, because there are no fingerings, it's B, D sharp, F, and then B again for the bass, and then you have a tremolo on the B string. If you played it like this last B almost gets cheated out of allowing it to ring the full duration. So I would suggest changing it to the fourth string and playing the unison here. That way the basses get their duration and the tremolo is separated on a different string. Now the same thing appears in measure 61, but the problem here is that D sharp, excuse me, is over here. So unless you have really gigantic hands, it'll be difficult to play it as a unison on different strings. So we're kind of forced to play it on the same string. In a perfect world, we would finger it the same way we would finger this. In measure 64, 65, and 66, it is possible again to change this to the second string. That way you're separating the bass from the tremolo. And then the basses get their due duration, each one lasts about a quarter, they ring over, and you can hear the two separate voices rather than having it cut short. So anytime you find something like that, see if you can finger it on a different string. Of course you have to make sure your guitar is well in tune, otherwise the unison will sound out of tune. But usually it sounds better if the bass is played on a separate string from the tremolo, so they don't blend in together and cut short. So if you'd like to order this piece, as always, you can find a direct link to the Strings by Mel catalog, and I hope this helped in some way to finger it. Think about the music first instead of just the fingering, so that way you're guided musically rather than what's easy to do at the moment. Thank you for watching.